Welcome back to the Better Learning Podcast. This episode is part of a special series we recorded live at PASBO Conference, also known as the Pennsylvania Association of School Business Officials in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania this year. While we were there, we had the chance to sit down with school leaders, business officials, and partners from across the region to talk about what it really looks like to plan, fund, and support today's learning environments. So in this series, you'll hear a real conversation about the trade-offs, the challenges, and the opportunities that come with trying to build better learning environments. Without further ado, let's dive in.
Welcome to the Better Learning Podcast. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Jason. I'm the Director of Business Programs and Services at Appalachia Intermediate Unit 8. I've been there for about 7.5 years and started in school business about 10 years before that. So got about 17.5 years of school business. Started off as a aerospace engineer. Doesn't have a lot to do with this, but when someone says it's not rocket science, it makes it a little easier. I can do that.
That's an interesting pivot.
Yeah.
Well, for our listeners, would you do me a favor and tell folks about what in Pennsylvania, what an intermediate unit does?
So they were created in 1972, 71, 72, to provide really special education services after a lot of the schools were consolidated in the 70s. So that's really what they were started to do. There's 29 of them in Pennsylvania. They were kind of created to be about the same size with number of students, but that's gone completely away as far as, some areas of the state have grown a lot faster than others.
That's awesome. So Jason, let me ask you what I think is really the important question here. Better sports town, Pittsburgh or Philadelphia?
So I don't think it's close. It's got to be Pittsburgh.
That's correct.
I've gone to two Philadelphia sporting events in Philadelphia. I went to a Penguin Flyers game and I went to a Pirates Phillies game. I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh lost both of them, but the fans were absolutely terrible, so it didn't really matter. I go to a bunch of Steeler games, usually one or two a year, not a bunch, but one or two a year. Go to a couple of Penguin games a year. Pittsburgh, the other thing it has going for it as far as being a great sports town is it doesn't have an NBA team. That's important. To be a good sports town, you shouldn't have one.
That's an interesting theory.
Yeah.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, right. It is. But
interesting.
Okay. All right. When someone said, Philadelphia's better, go get an NBA team, I'm like, well, why?
Interesting.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, so you're doing awesome work at the intermediate unit, and your work is obviously connected with student learning. It's connected with, improving school districts, improving educational practice, improving educational service. Tell me a little bit about, you just spun the wheel here, the wheel of fortune. And the question that you were asked was, what's something you've mastered that you never expected would become core to your role? What superpower have you developed in this role, doing school business, that maybe you didn't realize you had?
I never really thought I'd be good at just talking in front of people. That's probably one thing I didn't really think I'd need to do, especially when you're going to college to be an engineer. You're not really thinking about talking in front of the public or even caring what the public has to say, what their thoughts are. So understanding that and being able to relate a little bit to the public. So that would probably be the biggest thing that's with maybe my career that moved along.
Tell me about a time in your work with the intermediate unit that you really had a great moment where you felt, and this is really why I do this. Some initiative or some program you worked on that you really felt landed and the impact was really strong.
So that actually every year you get this. It's at graduation. We have a program. It's called the Bridge Program, and it's really geared for special needs students that are probably somewhere between 18 and 20 years old. They can stay in the program until, of course, they're 20 plus years old. But in that program, you go to their graduation and you see what they're doing, see what their plans are after graduation, and see their families. It's really just that's probably the best part of the year every year.
I know that feeling well, having graduated many senior classes myself. That's a great feeling.
Yeah.
You just also drew a fun question card. What was your fun question card you drew, Jason?
What's the most polite, professional way to say that idea will absolutely not work? it's probably just, I'll look into that.
So be forewarned if Jason says, yeah, I'll look into that.
Well, there's a chance I might actually look into it, but there's a good chance that I'm not going to.
That's a polite rejection.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, I might say I'll look into that if it's serious too, but you never know. That way they're like, oh, did you ever look into that? I'm like, yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Still not looking good, but I'll look into it a little more if you need me to. Just it's a good way to just say, eh. So that's what I do. I'll just look into it.
What are some of the, whether ed sessions or, business partners that you would work with? Who are the folks that you're looking forward to connecting with at PASBO this year?
So there's a lot of colleagues that I don't see anymore. Since I moved to intermediate unit, there's some school districts that I don't have interactions with that I used to when I was just at a school district. And also there's a few vendors that I have, different projects that we're looking forward to. So you try to make some contacts, make that pool of possible bidders or something like that a little bigger for the project.
Yeah. Well, it's been great chatting with you, Jason. Really appreciate your time, and I hope you have a great conference.
All right, thanks.
The Better Learning Podcast is produced by Matt Rogers and edited by Kelly Jones. The views and opinions shared on this podcast are those of the individual speaking and do not necessarily represent the perspectives of their affiliated companies, organizations, or associations.